Hi, this is part 3 of our video update on the Spec C rally car, and as you can see behind me is the car that we've done in our other videos, and I encourage you to check those ones out. And in this video we're going to tell you just specifically what the suspension is like on this car and just how different it is to a normal road car or a tarmac rally car, which this particular client is considering how he's going to change. So this particular car has got ProFlex suspension, which was a very popular shock absorber system quite a few years ago here in Australia. It was maintained and serviced by Murray Coote. Of course, we all know Murray's son and Josh, who runs the MCA road car suspension setup, and of course the Hammerhead World Time Attack car, which is so well known here in Australia at the competition use on the track at Eastern Creek. But I digress. Murray has got the experience that is from a shock absorber point of view when these ProFlex struts were developed, maintaining them, and then it morphed into MCA, which is now all custom valved and built by those guys up in Queensland. And this particular car's got the early version of the ProFlex shock absorbers. So let's just have a look at what makes them so different. And the first thing you'll notice is just how huge they are in the body. But what you'll notice is, and I'll just show you here without dropping my torch, is being a McPherson strut, the strut has what we call a guiding function for the location of the front suspension when it moves up and down. You can see the big drive shafts being a Spec C, and you can see the front lower control arm and the sway bar. But you'll also notice that the body here is a lot larger than factory standard. If you look right up the very top, this shiny part here is actually the inverted part of the shock absorber, and that inside that shiny part is where all the mechanical, hydraulic and pistons operate for the shock absorber, and down inside here is just actually the piston shaft. And the reason why they run them inverted is because the top of the shock absorber is connected to the body and the bottom of the shock absorber is connected to the suspension. So in theory, from a mechanical point of view, you have the lightest part connected to the wheel and keep everything light, like aluminium front control arms and things like that, which gives the suspension the far better ability to quickly respond to changes of direction, meaning suspension travel, which means it makes the car handle better. So what it actually does is reduces the unsprung weight. The sprung weight is the body of the car, which includes all the mechanical parts of the shock absorber at the top, because that's connected to the body. But the unsprung part is the part that moves up and down, which is what you want to move as quickly as possible. And that's why the bottom of this body has got the shock absorber shaft internally, as opposed to a normal shock absorber on most road cars. And there are a range of Subaru STIs that actually, and the WRXs around 07, 08, that had actually inverted shocks, but that's a whole nother story. So let's have a look at the rear suspension, and just so you can see in a similar design how the shock absorber is as well. Now this shock absorber again is a Chapman strut, so it has a guiding function, but of course the rear wheels don't rotate on it. Similar design, the body of the shock absorber is right up the top. You can see the platform, and just little things you'll notice how there's sticky tape over the threads here to protect the thread, so if later on down the track this needs to be adjusted, because all this just get hammered and destroyed by rocks and stones. And of course you can see down the bottom here, like the front suspension, the two pickup points on the hub assembly to connect to the body of the shock absorber, which is adjustable, but the main portion of the adjustment for camber is set at the top, and of course it's got the it's got the remote canister, which allows you to adjust the high speed and the low speed bump control for the actual shock absorber itself. And it has the adjustable platform height for the spring itself, which is that bottom part there, which you can rotate up and down on the threads, which raises and lowers the ride height of the car. So these are all the things that we're currently looking at with a client at the moment, because he's looking at converting this car to a tarmac rally car, and he's going to go to a lot wider wheels. He's going to potentially go to a different set of suspension setup, and of course we need to decide what is the most cost-effective way to give him the best bang for his buck. So check out our other videos. We're going to get this car on the dyno soon, because we're doing a retune with the Motec ECU and all the anti-lag. It's a pretty cool sounding car, and we'll keep you informed. But today, my name is Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.